back, everyone. My next guest has been on my show now several times. I have with me Michael Henderson. He's the owner of Tapestry Insurance. Welcome back to the show. Before I want to say anything, we are live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. We're going to share the show afterwards. Everybody loves that. It's been really fun to do that. So welcome back to the show. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, thanks for having me back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. As we've been talking about for the last 3 or 4 months, we do insurance, but we specialize in the Medicare space. We specialize in life and health, and we work very closely with the senior community in multiple states. But I'm based here in Arizona, but I have agents in all over the Southwest. So, yeah.
But tell everybody a little bit about, there's some changes going on maybe in Medicare, but more today we were going to talk a little bit about all the other things that you also do. But are there any changes?
Well, actually, a lot of the things with Medicare are staying stable throughout the year. I mean, Medicare plans, they stay for an entire year, and then changes come up at the end of the year. So, yes, there will be some things changing.
Anything that people should know about?
Well, nothing that we can actually talk about yet.
So you have to wait. But let me tell you something about Medicare. You cannot figure this out on your own.
Right.
That's for sure.
Well, that's for sure. And that's an important thing. And not everybody, but a lot of people think that they can ask their neighbor, or they can ask a friend, or their son or daughter. The funny thing is, it's different for everybody. So we have to, find somebody that you can talk to about it, somebody that's educated about Medicare. Obviously, we'd like to have the phone calls come in, but just find somebody that will educate you.
Right. Everybody's story is different. You cannot go to your neighbor and ask them what did they get, because if you do, what happens is they're completely different than you. You need to talk to somebody. You've been doing this how long?
About 10 years.
10 years. Yeah. So, and not only that, you have different states that you can work at, and that people that are in those states, you have people that are experts in their area. That's something you want to say.
Yeah, exactly. All over the Southwest here, we have agents in all over the place. I mean, I don't even know all the cities, but they're there to help people. We know the local markets, so it's different than calling an 800 number somewhere. We can sit you down with an agent that is going to talk to you about the local market, not just a screen
somebody
on a computer.
That's on it. You can't do that, and that's off. They're not trained. They're not trained the same way. And there's different laws for each county, you said.
Well, there's different plans for each county.
Wow.
Yep. And so you might have one carrier that is that's great in where you are now. But what if you move to a new area? Actually, I have a story about that. I had a gentleman, just met with him last week. He's moving from back east somewhere. I don't want to give away too much information, but he's on a particular plan that actually has served him well there, and that carrier is available here, and so he wanted to talk about it. But in talking about it, he just wanted that carrier because he was familiar with it, not because it was better for him or something like that. So here I was able to educate him about the plans in our area, and ultimately he decided on a different carrier because it fit with him better for their needs here. So it's funny, even though they might be on a great carrier in another state somewhere or even in another county, it may not be that the laws are different, but the plan designs are different.
Well, I'll tell you something. A lot of people move here from out of state.
It's getting crazy.
It's crazier. It gets crazier by the second. And one thing I know about us older folks, and I'm one of them, is that we stay with what we know. We like to stay. Mm-hmm. We're comfortable with it, so we stay with it. And yet, that's not always the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it may end up that you end up on the same plan or plan carrier that you were on in another state. But why not get the information? It's free. We don't charge for that service. So get the information, have it evaluated. I've been doing this long enough. It's if you end up on the same plan that you're on, I'm just happy that we were able to help you out and educate you. So we're not trying to get you on a particular plan. We represent multiple carriers.
He is a free service to the families out there. The website is tapestryinsuranceGroup.com. He services the entire Southwest. You can either call him here direct at 602 541-7656 or toll free 800-506-8810. Well, today you have some other things that you said, other areas that you want to talk about.
Yeah, so we've talked for the last several months about Medicare, which is And I do that because it's such a needed service. There's just so much information out there, and people are overwhelmed with it when they become Medicare eligible. But I also don't want people to think that we're not servicing the rest of the community. So we also work with life insurance. We do life insurance in multiple parts of the Southwest here. We work with carriers that we can work with small groups, and that's become a big thing now.
I'm a phenomenal guest.
Small groups and things like that we can work with to help them get their insurance for their business.
So let me ask you something. When you work with any field of the insurance area, is that still a free consultation to the person?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So we're not charging the person anything to come talk to us, even a business. So I just did a quote for a small group. They just have 3 employees. It's the owner's son, and another employee. And we did that quote. We quoted like 6 different carriers, 5 or 6 different carriers, and ultimately we're able to help them with their group insurance.
So does it matter when you say let's use a business? Do you work with sole proprietors as well? Or more, does it have to be in like a business that has a small group? So
with a small group policy particularly, they have to have employees.
Okay.
So they can be a sole proprietorship, but they have to have W-2'd employees. But they don't have to have a lot. So a lot of people think they can't get a group insurance unless they have 10 employees or something. It actually, they just need one other employee besides the owner.
Okay.
It can't be a spouse, unfortunately, so they have to have a real employee.
Well, some people consider them real employees.
They are, but I mean, in the view of the insurance, it can't be a spouse, but it can be a kid.
So they can call you for life insurance.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And what else?
Well, mostly we specialize in the life and health field and the Medicare, which is obviously a health product.
Okay.
We don't do the property and casualty, although for auto and homeowners, we have people that we refer to. So we have very good relationships that we can, not that we're going to help you, but...
I think with what I get from you is you're all about helping people understand what they can get, what they have. You have the knowledge, and you're just handing it to them and saying, this might be better for you. You won't know until we start talking about it.
That's exactly right. That's what we're all about, which sounds kind of funny. I mean, you think of insurance people as salespeople, and I guess technically we are, but I view us more as educators, and I've my whole career in insurance, I've viewed it that way. And it comes with a different perspective, and it's served me well, and I believe it serves the community that way, and I enjoy serving the community. So yeah, we're giving that information out to help people. So
don't most people have life insurance already, and if they do, they still need it or whatever?
Well, that's an interesting question. Some people have life insurance, but it's just like looking at another type of insurance. People think that, okay, I was 30 years old and I bought a $100,000 life insurance policy. Now I'm good for the rest of my life. But our needs change. So just like you bought a new car, you got to get different insurance for that new car. If you had a Hyundai and then you bought a Maserati, you're gonna the same insurance policy won't work for those two, right?
Let me tell you.
So as you grow, as you buy a new home, as you have a family and children, your insurance needs are going to change, and you need to update that.
I think that's a really important thing to say, because a lot of people have plans that they've made from a long time ago, and they think they're fine. They think they're all taken care of. And they have to dust them off, and they have to take them out and have them looked at, because like you said, things change. And I don't know, maybe people just don't think about that.
Well, they don't. It's not a top priority. So every other day we're getting inundated
until
with
they're about to turn 62. All of a sudden, things become a top priority. Is that correct?
Yeah. When you have a major life change, things become a priority. But insurance usually falls by the wayside. People don't think of it, except for your car insurance, because it's mandatory.
Right.
But we don't think of it normally.
Well, with life insurance, though, we were talking Medicare. Obviously, that's people who are older folks. But with life insurance, it's anybody.
It's anybody. Yeah, you need to look at it because your needs in your life, you need coverage. So
the number to call him direct, it's 602-541-7656. Toll free, it's 800-506-8810. He services the entire Southwest. It's a free service, whether it's the Medicare or not. It's a free service to you and the families. It's TapestryInsuranceGroup.com.
If I traded it all
So welcome back, everyone, and we are talking with Michael Henderson. We just heard his ad on the air. He's the owner of Tapestry Insurance Group, and we were talking. Obviously, Medicare is something that you do. You focus on, but today you wanted to talk about some of the different areas that you also work with for anybody of any age. And I know you wanted to talk about this for a second, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
I want to talk about life insurance. When you say life insurance, when should somebody, you said that we were talking about dusting them off. What about people? When should they really start getting insurance from you?
Yeah, well, first of all, we, like you said earlier, we specialize and we've been talking about Medicare, but we don't want to leave anybody out. So that's why we do products for every age group. There's actually child life insurance policies from some carriers that grandparents like to get for infants as they're growing, and
what a wonderful thing to do
it's an interesting,
for your grandchild.
So to answer to your question, the short answer, I'm used to giving long answers, but the short answer is any age, right? But the important thing is, don't wait on any of your insurance needs. We've been saying that about Medicare for 3 or 4 months. But life insurance as well, or any insurance for that matter.
I want to put it in their mind, right? So a lot of people are listening that maybe you just got married, right? I mean, really important to take care, of your spouse, your significant other, right? To have them take care. But also for, you might have children. It's a really good idea. It's not something that you just wait for because, life insurance, I'm going to wait till when I'm going to die and I know I'm going to die, so you do it when you're later on. It's not a good idea. It's
not because, for several reasons. One, as you get older, it gets more expensive. If you have a
and if you have life insurance, you got to go get what do they call that?
Well, some insurances you have to get it like a little medical exam, like a blood draw.
And if everybody then has high blood pressure when that comes up because they think they're not going to pass.
Right, exactly. Right? So, or if you do develop
pre-existing,
if you develop a medical condition, you may not get underwritten, or you may have a higher price. So, ultimately, we do have policy. If you do have a condition, don't wait. We can still talk to you because we do have policies that can help with that as well. But there's no better time than the present to ask about that stuff. But you mentioned dusting off or life changes. If you have a home and then you upgrade to a new, bigger home, is your old life insurance policy going to give your family the peace of mind that it needs for those new bills and things like that? And that's the thing that go by the wayside when people are making changes in their life that are big changes, new home purchase or a new child or something like that. They never think about that life insurance policy, even though they're making that premium payment every month. They may need to reevaluate that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we talk. When we say dust it off, it doesn't mean that it's has to be old that you did it then. But it's important for everybody to take care of these things. And I love the show. This show is all about information for everybody. That's all it is. And you take it and you hear it and you do what you want with it. But a lot of people do things when they want. Then they're ready. They say, they're ready. So a lot of people take this stuff and write it down, and all of a sudden you'll get a call. I heard this because I'm ready now. Right?
Exactly.
So the phone number to call him is 602-541-7656. His website is tapestryinsuranceGroup.com. It's a free service to you and the families for life insurance too. You can sit down. You're going to talk about it. And he services the entire Southwest as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back into you. So some people need to evaluate their life insurance like any other insurance. You take second opinions, so you evaluate them?
Well, we do what's called a needs analysis, just like we do for the health insurance, for the Medicare. So we're going to sit down with them and do what we call a needs analysis, and that will kind of go over financial situations and family and household obligations and things like that. Many times we just on a surface area, a lot of families, both the husband or both spouses work. Well, if something happens to one of those spouses, can that household survive on one income?
Probably not.
Probably not. That's why there was a 2-income household, right?
Right.
So those are some of the little things that we need to evaluate and look at so we can give that family peace of mind. And it sounds simple, and it actually kind of is simple, but it's just that people don't act on it. So
with life insurance, a lot of people think that they don't need it because they're young, or I don't know. Why do people not take care of this? What is the reason that you find, the number one reason?
I think the fear of the unknown, like in any anything that we do as people. I think it's the fear of the unknown. They think the cost is going to be too high. They think that they just don't know what they need, so they think they can't ask questions. And that's why we're here. We're not here to say, oh, you're supposed to know this already. We're here to give you the information and make you feel good about your decisions. Whether you buy insurance or not, I know after I meet with you, whether you have bought it or not, that you've made a decision based on the information, right? And that's peace of mind for me. So I want people to understand it and know it. There's no wrong question, so there's no fear in that. There's many different solutions, so I don't think people have to fear price anymore. When there used to only be maybe a couple different life insurance options, people used to have to fit into a certain box to get it, and it may be very expensive for them or something like that. There's a solution. I feel there's a solution for everybody.
And you also said even if you have some kind of a condition, there's solutions for you too.
There are. So there's a couple different types of policies out there. There's simplified issue, which might only have a few simple medical questions, and you don't even have to do a medical exam, not a blood draw anymore. And then for somebody that might have something that might get them denied, there are what they call guaranteed issue life insurance policies. They're a little smaller, a little less coverage, but it still will give them coverage that will fit into their needs and things like that. Now, guaranteed issue is going to be a little bit more expensive, obviously, but it still can give their family peace of mind and things like that. So, like I said, there's something for everybody out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, you said you had a story.
Yeah, life insurance sometimes isn't a super happy story, but this is a personal one that I had for a good friend of mine. This was many years ago, but an example of why somebody needs to reevaluate their life insurance. So he was married with and had his wife and 2 children. She stopped working. They became a one-income household, and he passed away by an accident. He was a younger guy. We were pretty much the same age, within a couple of years of each other. And this was when I was younger. And unfortunately he passed away. Now his wife didn't work anymore, still had 2 children to support. And they did not make the leap or the life change to get that reevaluated when she stopped working. So unfortunately, that was a situation where in hindsight, obviously they should have done something. Mm-hmm. Now, back then, I didn't do insurance back then, but it always, it's one of those things that just stays with you, and it's a story that's real life.
For some reason, there's certain things that people don't want to think about or talk about, and in this area, like I said, except if you're going to turn 62, right? But 65. Really, or 65. I'm sorry, that was for something else, but that also is a big conversation too. But what I find more than anything is that a lot of people just they put it under the carpet. They dust it right under the carpet. Yeah. They don't want to talk about it.
And that's what I've been saying.
I think
for months.
The number one reason is probably because of the money issue. Like whatever that cost is monthly that you pay out or whatever, they're thinking, well, I don't really need it, but it's so important.
Yeah, it's very important for your family. I mean, obviously, if I pass away from an accident, it's not important to me anymore, but it's important to my wife.
Sure.
So it is. And we've talked about it for months here on your show. Don't wait. Just check it out.
Right.
We're free to talk to. Just check it out.
It's information for you guys out there.
Yeah.
And don't go to your neighbor. Do not do that. Don't try and go. What about people that go online and try and fill out these things and now they say, well, I now have, because a lot of things, everybody thinks that Google is the answer.
Well, so it's funny with a lot of insurances. There are pages out there. You go search for a specific type of insurance, and you're going to get to a lead generation page to either go to somebody's site. I have a page like that on my website, of course, but it comes directly to me. It doesn't go to a lead generator. Most of those sites just go to a place where they sell the lead to an agent.
And now you get all these phone calls and all this mail.
So they're getting a call from an agent, but the agent may not even live in that area. And that's important, I think, for people to know the local market when they're talking about insurance, know the networks when we're talking about health insurance and Medicare especially, but just know the climate of the people in the area and how to help them. Different than somebody that might be in Florida that you're talking to over the phone just because you filled out information on the computer.
Right.
So Google's a great place to get some information, but don't get all your information there. Talk to somebody that can help you out.
Absolutely. It's a free service to you, the families. And so it doesn't matter how old you are. Life insurance is really important. Medicare, you can't do it on your own. And so what he offers is information for everybody. And what also he offers is that he works in all the entire Southwest, and each area he has specialists in that area that can answer your questions. His phone number to call is 602-541-7656. It's toll free 800-506-8810. You got to check him out on his website. It's tapestryinsuranceGroup.com.
Woohoo!